Hunter x Hunter is a beloved series, whether you're reading the manga or watching the anime. However, there are some pretty big differences between the two versions that change how the story unfolds and how we understand the characters. From missing characters to toned-down violence, these changes can be surprising, interesting, and sometimes even controversial among fans. Today, we're diving into the biggest differences between the Hunter x Hunter manga and anime. You'll learn about unique scenes, character introductions, and backstories that set the manga apart from the anime. Whether you're a dedicated fan of one version or curious about both, these key differences highlight the unique ways each medium tells the epic story of Gon and his friends. So let's explore these differences, starting with a dramatic character introduction that's exclusive to the anime. But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. Alright, let's get started. In the anime, there's a super intense scene where Menthuthu Yuppie, the third royal guard of the Chimera Ants, is born. The music is super dramatic, and Yuppie's growling voice when he says he's hungry really sets the tone for his character. It's like you can feel how powerful and scary he is right from the start. But here's the twist. This scene is only in the anime. If you read the manga, you won't see this dramatic entrance for Yuppie at all. The anime team added this to make his introduction more exciting and to give viewers a big first impression. So, if you're an anime-only fan, you gotta see something manga readers missed out on. It shows how adaptations can sometimes add extra flair to the story. If you're after a smooth and consistent look, watching Hunter x Hunter might be better than reading it. The manga's artwork is like a roller coaster, sometimes amazing, other times a bit rough. The creator, Togashi, faced tight deadlines and health issues, which sometimes meant he had to submit unfinished or sketchy art. Imagine reading a comic where some parts are super detailed, but others look like quick sketches with simple backgrounds. That's what you get with the Hunter x Hunter manga. Sometimes, Togashi would go back and fix these sketchy parts later, but the inconsistency remains. Characters like Crollo Lucilfer can look different from one chapter to the next, which can be a bit confusing. On the other hand, the anime by Madhouse keeps things looking steady. Even though some scenes have better animation than others, it's generally more polished throughout. In the Hunter x Hunter anime, you won't see any characters smoking. This is because Japan has strict broadcasting rules against showing smoking on TV, but in the manga, it's a different story. Characters light up pretty often. For example, in the manga, there's a scene where Finks, a member of the Phantom Troupe, is casually smoking while hanging out in Meteor City. Another character, Maluki Zoldyck, is shown puffing on a cigar. These scenes add a bit of personality and realism to the characters, but they're completely absent in the anime. The anime avoids showing smoking to follow TV guidelines and make the series more family-friendly. This change makes the anime a bit different in tone. Some fans might miss these little character quirks, but others appreciate the cleaner look. It's interesting how something as simple as smoking can change the feel of a story. So, if you're reading the manga, you might notice these smoky details that add depth to the characters. But when you switch to the anime, it's like the characters went through a health kick and quit smoking. This shows how different mediums can shape the same story in unique ways. In both the Hunter x Hunter anime and manga, there's a scene where Hisoka and Machi have a tense conversation about Hisoka's plans and abilities. Hisoka, being his usual cheeky self, flirts with Machi to show he's not too worried about her concerns. But here's where things get interesting. The level of Hisoka's flirtation is very different between the anime and the manga. In the anime, Hisoka casually asks Machi to go to dinner with him. It's playful and a bit mischievous, but nothing too shocking. However, in the manga, Hisoka takes it up a notch, or 10, by boldly asking Machi to sleep with him. This is quite a leap from just a dinner invitation and shows just how audacious Hisoka can be. The anime toned this down, probably to keep things more appropriate for a broader audience. It's a good example of how adaptations can change character interactions to fit different formats or audience expectations. So, if you thought Hisoka was forward in the anime, the manga reveals a whole new level of his boldness. One of the coolest characters in Hunter x Hunter is Canary, a young girl who serves the Zoldyck family and has a special bond with Killua. The anime gives us some sweet flashbacks of their childhood together, showing a softer side of Killua and highlighting their friendship. However, these touching scenes don't appear in the manga at all. The anime goes even further by revealing Canary's backstory, which is completely absent in the manga. We learn that Canary comes from Meteor City, the same dangerous, lawless place that the Phantom Troop members hail from. This detail is significant because Meteor City is known for its harsh conditions and tough residents. It hints at a challenging and possibly tragic early life for Canary. In one scene, she even tells Killua that if he ever visits Meteor City, she would be his guide. This little detail adds depth to her character and shows her loyalty and bravery. It's fascinating how the anime expands on characters' backgrounds to give them more depth and make the story richer. The Hunter x Hunter anime does a solid job explaining the cards used in the Greed Island arc. You get to know about the important cards and their effects, but only the ones that are crucial to the story. It keeps things moving and doesn't overload you with information. However, the manga goes all out when it comes to explaining these cards. Since it's easier to include detailed panels in a comic than to spend precious screen time on explanations, the manga provides a much deeper look at the Greed Island cards and their functions. You get to see all the nitty-gritty details about even the less important cards that don't get mentioned in the anime. So, if you're a huge fan of the Greed Island arc and want to know everything about the game, the manga is the place to go. It's like getting a complete guidebook with all the secrets and tricks that the anime doesn't have time to show. If you've only watched the Hunter x Hunter anime, you might be scratching your head about Gyro. Gyro is the former king of the Neo-Green Life, NGL, autonomous region, which is central to the Chimera Ant arc. The anime spends a good amount of time on Gyro's tragic backstory, showing his tough childhood and his drive to spread chaos. But after that, his role becomes pretty murky. In the manga, it's revealed that Gyro becomes a Chimera Ant. This adds a whole new layer to his character and hints at his future importance. However, this part of the story is missing from the anime. The reason for this omission isn't clear, but it's possible that the creators didn't want to build up Gyro as a major future villain when they knew the anime might not continue long enough to explore his story fully. So manga readers get a much richer understanding of Gyro and his potential role in the series. If you're intrigued by his character and want to know more, diving into the manga will give you the answers you're looking for. To enter the Zoldyck's property, you need to push open a series of massive doors that weigh several tons. It's a serious test of strength and training. In the manga, this scene showcases just how strong the main characters are. Leorio, for instance, manages to push open 2 doors, which weigh a whopping 8 tons combined. Meanwhile, Gon and Kurapika each open 1 door on their own. This impressive feat highlights their incredible strength and determination. However, in the anime, the gate scene plays out a bit differently. Instead of each character opening their own doors, it takes the combined effort of Leorio, Kurapika, and Gon to move just 1 door. This change makes the scene feel a bit more realistic. After all, moving tons of weight isn't easy, even for our tough heroes. The adjustment might help viewers relate to the character's struggle and perseverance. So whether you prefer the manga's display of individual strength or the anime's teamwork approach, this difference adds an interesting twist to the story. When a manga gets adapted into an anime, one big change you can often expect is the toning down of violence. The 2011 Hunter x Hunter anime has plenty of intense moments, but the manga is even more graphic. Take, for example, the scene where Killua rips out a guy's heart. In the anime, it's already pretty shocking, but in the manga, Killua goes a step further and crushes the heart in his hand. It's a much more gruesome detail that highlights Killua's deadly skills. Another example is when Hisoka kills Jiraiya. In the anime, Hisoka dramatically tosses Jiraiya's severed head to the ground, making the scene quite memorable. However, in the manga, it's even more chilling. Hisoka simply displays Jiraiya's lifeless body, which somehow feels even more sinister. Interestingly, the 1999 anime adaptation of Hunter x Hunter kept closer to the manga's level of violence. While it diverged in other ways, it preserved the darker, more graphic scenes better than the 2011 version. If you're curious about how different adaptations handle mature content, this is a fascinating aspect of Hunter x Hunter to explore. In the manga, Leorio is a fantastic character, but in the 2011 Hunter x Hunter anime, he often seems more talk than action. He has a standout moment where he uses Nen to teleport his fist and punch Ging from across the room, which is super cool. However, aside from that, he doesn't really come across as particularly strong. In the manga, though, Leorio shows his strength more frequently. This portrayal makes the difference between him and powerhouses like Gon and Killua less noticeable. For instance, Leorio's physical abilities and combat skills are highlighted more, making him a more balanced member of the team. This difference is important because it changes how we see Leorio as a character. In the anime, he might seem more like comic relief, but the manga reminds us that he's a formidable fighter in his own right. It gives him more depth and makes his moments of bravery and strength stand out even more. Maha Zoldyck, Xeno Zoldyck's grandfather, is the oldest living member of the Zoldyck clan at over 120 years old. Despite his age, he's an incredibly powerful and mysterious figure in the Hunter x Hunter universe. In the manga and the 1999 anime, we learn that Maha once fought Netero, one of the strongest fighters ever. This battle alone hints at Maha's immense power. Additionally, during the York New City arc, Maha assists Illumi and Kaluto in defeating the 10 Dons, showcasing his lethal skills and importance within the Zoldyck family. However, in the 2011 anime, Maha doesn't appear at all. This omission leaves a gap in the portrayal of the Zoldyck family's strength and history. Fans of the manga and the older anime might miss the presence of this formidable character and the depth he adds to the Zoldyck lineage. So, if you're curious about Maha's role and contributions to the Zoldyck family's fearsome reputation, diving into the manga or watching the 1999 anime will give you a fuller picture. In the Hunter x Hunter manga, Kite, a friend of Gon's father, Ging, appears right in the very first chapter. He rescues Gon from a dangerous fox bear and delivers a crucial piece of information. Gon's father is still alive. This encounter sets the stage for Gon's entire journey, giving him the motivation to become a hunter and find his dad. However, in the 2011 anime, Kite doesn't show up until episode 76. Until then, viewers have no idea who Kite is, or that Gon has any solid reason to believe his father is alive. This change significantly alters the story's beginning. Without Kite's early appearance, Gon's quest to find his father seems based more on hope than certainty. When Kite finally appears in the anime, it's a big surprise, changing how viewers perceive both Ging and Gon's determination to find him. The delayed introduction makes Kite's role in Gon's life feel more like a revelation than a starting point, giving the story a different emotional impact. So, if you want to see how Gon's adventure begins with a strong push from Kite, the manga provides a more immediate and motivating start. And there you have it. The biggest differences between the Hunter x Hunter manga and anime show just how diverse storytelling can be. Whether it's the dramatic entrances of characters, unique backstories, or varying levels of violence, each version brings something special to the table. The manga offers deeper dives into certain details, while the anime adds its own flair with visual and emotional impact. No matter which version you prefer, both the manga and anime of Hunter x Hunter have captured the hearts of fans around the world. These differences remind us that adaptations can take creative liberties to make a story fit their medium and audience. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Hunter x Hunter's fascinating differences. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content like this. Which version do you prefer, and did we miss any key differences? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.